Ladies and gentlemen, enough time has passed. I'm done holding it back. I'm done. Persona 3 Reload is the best Persona game ever made, and in this video, I'm going to detail to you why. So first of all, before I go ahead and talk about this, it's important to know one thing. Okay, this is a personal opinion. You cannot make any objective fact about what is better than another thing. It's not possible, okay? So before you come into the comment section and you start yapping, talking about, you can't say that for objective fact. Persona 5 Royal is objective. Shut the fuck up. It's all personal opinion, okay? And in my personal opinion, I think Persona 3 Reload is the best Persona game ever made, and I'm gonna tell you why. So there's two main things about Persona 3 Reload that I think are the best in the series, and that is why I think it's the best game. And these two things are, in my opinion, the biggest reason why many people love Persona games, okay? And the first one being the social links. Now, before I get onto this, I already know there's gonna be some counter arguments with the social links thing because you don't even get social links with your main male party members. And a lot of people are gonna have an issue with that, and I think that's valid. And then also the fact that you don't get to start the social links until much later with the female party members of your main party. Now, here's what I'll say on that. I think, I've expressed this in many videos before, but I think the fact that the social links start later is not that big of a deal. And the main reason for that is because I think it forces you to focus on some of the other social links in the game that I think are really good. And I'll highlight a few in a second, but I think it forces you to focus on some of the other social links, some of the other like school social links, because let's be for real, if you had the choice between hanging out with like Odagiri from the student council or Mitsuru, we're all choosing Mitsuru. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let's be for real, right? I think one of the things that they could have added in Persona 3 Reload is gameplay benefits from doing the social links. I think that is the best thing Persona 5 implemented, but again, I think that goes more towards the gameplay, and I think a lot of people really play the Persona games for things outside of the gameplay. Now, I would say that I am probably like 50-50 split at this point. I'm like half gameplay, half story slash social links at this juncture of all junctures. So I would have definitely liked that, but I would also go ahead and say that to the first point, when people say that like you don't get to have the social links with the male party members or whatever, I'm gonna be honest, I think having the special link episodes or whatever were way better than any social link. I would take every single what's it called, the social link episodes type shit, like the stuff in Persona 3 Reload that's not the social link, like those hangout sessions. I think every single one of those was better than any of the male social links or whatever the fuck in the main party members throughout like any Persona game. Like if we're taking like Ken's little link episodes versus like Ryuji's social link, washes. You know, I don't even think it's close, right? I will agree with Nexus that like for Persona 3 Reload, I don't think there's too many daytime social links. I don't think that's the problem. I just think there's not enough nighttime social links. I think that is a little bit more accurate with like what I would classify as like valid criticism. I think they could have taken some of those and made them nighttime ones, because yeah, there's gonna come a point in the game where you have literally nothing to do at nighttime, and that's really gonna suck. But let me go ahead and talk about the social links that are there that I think are really good, and for the most part, you can start these social links like really early on in the game. So of course, this is like one of everybody's favorites, Akinari, the social link about, you know, the sickly dude. I'm not gonna get into too much spoilers if you haven't played yet or whatever. That social link is really good. You have the old couple with Bunkichi and Mitsuko, I think. I'm bad with names. I have dementia. What can I say? I'm just like Bunkichi at the end of the day. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, I love that social link too. That one is really emotional type, and that one you can start really early. There's the Maiko social link as well. You know, the little girl dealing with her parents' divorce and shit like that. Like, we're talking about some pretty heavy stuff. You have the highest A social link a little bit later in the game, and that one is like really dope because you have this dude who has all this talent to achieve his dreams, but like, and is then hit with the harsh reality of the world where like, no matter how much talent you have, no matter how much passion you have, sometimes life is so cruel and it forces you to give up on those passions because you got to take care of business. You feel me? You got to take care of business, you know? And that shit really sucks. And then I think there's another thing too about Persona 3 Reload that is really good. And I think that is just the regular school social links, right? Like with Kaz, Yuko, Chihiro, Odagiri from the student council and stuff like that. I think those are like much better than any of their counterparts in the other Persona games. Like, I think Yuko's is really, really good. Chihiro pisses me off. I kind of don't like Chihiro, but I know a lot of people do. But, you know, you have Chihiro, you have Kaz, who I think has a really good social link. Odagiri from the student council has a really good social link, and one that I didn't even think that I would like that. You know, like, but towards the end of that social link, I ended up really liking Odagiri. And yeah, I'm a fan of him. And then another really dope thing is that, you know, on the end of the Persona games, you sort of get like a last moment with your social link 10s or whatever. I think the last moments you get with all of your social link 10s in Persona 3 Reload washes all of the other Persona games. Like, I would just say this, the re-link up with Akinari's social link, I'm gonna be as vague as possible, but that moment right there is, in my opinion, the best writing in the entire Persona franchise. I think it was so emotional. It was so impactful. I think that moment right there is the best writing I've ever experienced in a Persona game. It was gut-wrenching. Very, very good writing there. And that brings me on to my second point as to why I think Persona 3 Reload is the best Persona game ever made. And that is that I think Persona 3 just has better writing than the rest of the games. And when I say that, I mean like the writing is a lot more mature. Like, I often criticize Persona games for feeling very immature or very adolescent in their writing. And I know a lot of people are gonna be like, well, yeah, they're high school kids. It's supposed to be adolescent. It's like, okay, there's a difference between having adolescent characters and having your writing be adolescent. Like, it just feels like they're treating you as if like you're a dumbass that needs your hand held through like every single interaction in the entire video game. And I think Persona 5 is the absolute worst at this, about doing that hand-holding bullshit through all the dialogue or whatever. It's just so much yapping, I feel like, in the newer Persona games. I'm talking mainly about 5 here. I think Persona 3 is way more concise in its delivery for what it wants to say. I feel like Persona 3 says a lot without saying too much. And again, I'm gonna go back to that Akinari social link thing. I feel like it said so much without hammering it over your head and being so overbearing. And I really, really got attached to the writing style in Persona 3. And, you know, I started playing Persona 5 Royal again. I made a video talking about if Persona 5 Royal still holds up. After playing Persona 3 Reload, you guys can check that out on my channel. But in that video, you know, I hadn't really mentioned, you know, the yapping all too much. I did bring it up briefly, but as I played it more, I was like, my God, like there's just so much yapping. It really made me have a newfound appreciation for how hands-off Persona 3 Reload can be. And I think I really appreciated that. And I can completely understand if a lot of people disagreed. If a lot of people did not like the fact that Persona 3 had a little bit more of a hands-off approach. But for me, I guess because like, it's not my first rodeo, you know what I mean? I've played Persona games in the past. Like, I already know what I need to do. Just get the fuck out of my way. You feel me? Like, let me play the damn game. Let me experience shit my own way. Let me do my damn thing. And I feel like Persona 3 Reload really, really does that. And I think those are the two main points as to why I think Persona 3 Reload is the GOAT. And then there's a bunch of other miscellaneous things as well. Like, for example, I really do like the fact that within the first like hour and a half of the game, you get to pretty much play Persona 3. You know, it's not holding your hand. You're not forced to go through tutorials. You're not forced to listen to a bunch of yapping you don't want to listen to. I really appreciate that. It gets out of my way. I can hop into the Tartarus if I want to. I can increase my social link with Yuko, Chihiro, fucking Odagiri, Maiko, Mutatsu, whatever. Or I could like, you know, get my social stats up or whatever, you know. And I really like the fact that it just got the fuck out of my way. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, there are some criticisms of Persona 3 Reload that I have been hearing that I can kind of understand. So for one, a lot of people criticize Persona 3 Reload for being too slow. And I didn't understand what they meant by that at first, because like I just said, I think Persona 3 Reload gets out of your way faster. But I think what they really meant is that Persona 3 Reload is a slow burn in terms of the plot. Right? Because like, and when you first play Persona 3 Reload, I don't think there's like a hook there, you know, for quite a long time, right? Like even Persona 4, which I would classify as having the slowest start in Persona games, it has the whole murder mystery hook going for it. And like that, I think like locks you in a little bit more there. And then obviously with Persona 5, you have the whole intro sequence with Joker making the escape or whatever the fuck, and then getting arrested and all that stuff. And then you have that whole aspect of like, damn, that's like a good hook to like keep people invested in the game. Whereas Persona 3 didn't really have that. And I think that's a valid criticism. But outside of that, I think Persona 3 Reload is a game that's really carried by like its characters, you know, and I think like if you allow yourself to get into it in that way, I think you'll be in for a great experience. And I feel like Persona 5, if you came from Persona 5 and you're trying to play Persona 3, I think Persona 5 was a lot more in your face. You know what I mean? I feel like Persona 5 was a lot more like, it was showing itself. It was showing out, you feel me? Like, damn, look at all this glitz and glamour. Look at all this crazy shit. Whereas Persona 3 is a lot more subdued and a lot more like laid back of a presentation for how it's showing you everything. And I think some people might find it a little bit hard to get into Persona 3 because of that. But I genuinely think that once you get into Persona 3 and once you let it cook, I think that it ends up becoming the best game. And again, it's just the most concise as well, because it's also the shortest Persona game in the series. I think like usually Persona 4 playthroughs take me about like 100 hours, somewhere in that ballpark. Persona 3 Reload was about 80. And then Persona 5 is like 347. Like that game is just, Persona 5 is way too fucking long. But regardless, I think, again, the themes and the motifs of Persona 3 Reload get shown again and again, where it's just a lot more concise of an experience. It's not gonna overbear you with too much. But the content that is there, I feel like is much more impactful. Again, like I gotta go back to those social links. I do genuinely think the social links in Persona 3 are the best, are the actual best. Like when I think about Persona 5, I think the weakest point of Persona 5 is actually the social links. Like, I think the plot is really good in Persona 5. I really like that whole like, you know, you're working backwards type thing and trying to figure out like, you know, you have two timelines going on, the future timeline and then the past timeline and stuff like that. I thought that was really interesting. One thing I didn't like about Persona 5 though, if I can nitpick, I really didn't like how they told you who the bad guy was before you even met them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hated that they did that shit. But anyways, other than that though, like I think overall the plot was really good in Persona 5, but the social links really stunk. Like I actually can't think of a good social link in Persona 5. That might be cap. Let me think. Okay, I like Gun Guy, but I think that's because I like him more so than I like his social link. But Gun Guy was dope. He was cool. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really struggling. Futaba's social link, Hifumi, I don't know. Takemi's was good. I like Akechi. I like Futaba. Yoshida is the politician, right? That one sucked. Yo, people gassed that one up so much, but I really did not think that one was that good. I think, okay, let me backtrack. I don't think that one sucked. I think people gassed it up so much. I was expecting like a Persona 3 level social link, but it's not on that level. It was just like, it was mad okay. It was like, alright. Yoshizawa, good one. Yoshizawa's a good one. I mean, Maruki, obviously. Well, that one was good. Yoshida was ass, don't sugarcoat it, gas way out of his world. Okay. You know, now that Lotus said it, I can say it. That shit stunk. I was expecting so much crazy shit from that. Like, I will say, Yoshida's, the shit you get for the gameplay for doing Yoshida's social link, that was gas. But his actual, like, social link was not good. Like, can we stop the cap? I thought that was gonna be crazy. Like, that one, it was just not good, period. And again, that's why I think Persona 3 social links are just, like, bro, Mutatsu social link, that one hit me so hard. And especially once you beat the game and then you get your update on Mutatsu, man, that was, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, type shit. You feel, I don't know, bruh. I just feel like the social links are just much better in Persona 3, man. Kawakami is goated. Kawakami does have a good social link, even though she is a predator, but her social link is good. Yeah, I liked EY, the gun guy. Some of the main party members were good. But then the thing is, some of the main party members were good, but then you also had like On social link and Makoto social link, which I thought were kind of ass. I already mentioned Tate Takemi, real vex. I'm not gonna lie, you're a fucking dumbass. But yeah, I don't know, man. I hope for Persona 6 that they go back and revisit the writing and make the social links much better. Because if they do that, I think that'll be great. Ooh, one other thing. God, I hate that I mentioned this so late because people already clicked off the video. Another reason why I think the link episodes are better than social links in Persona 3 Reload is because you're able to tie those link episodes to the main plot of the game, right? Because social links can happen at any moment, they have to sort of not matter. It's kind of like a filler episode in an anime, right? Like, no matter how great the filler episode is, the filler episode can never matter, right? Because at the end of the filler, everything has to go back to the way it was. Nothing can really change because it's outside of the main plot. And that's kind of what social links are, is that when you're done with somebody's social link, that can never, like, irrevocably change that character, because the game has to take into account whether or not you did that social link and at what point in the game you did that social link. Whereas the link episodes, those can directly reflect the plot and change the character in the plot because they're only unlocked at certain moments. So I think a happy medium for a Persona 6 would be to combine linked episodes with social links, right? Make it to where you can't go forward with somebody's social link until a specific part in the story of the game. That would be much better. And having that go off of, and having that to go off of would make the social links for the characters hit so much harder, you know, because as it stands right now, like, it just ends up feeling so empty, especially with after playing Persona 3 Reload, it makes Persona 5's like so much worse. Yeah, like Sojiro's, for example. Like Sojiro, there were certain moments where you couldn't move forward until a specific thing had happened, right? Like, doing more stuff like that, I feel like would just be better overall, and that's how every social link should be handled, in my opinion. Or if you wanted to, you can have the link episodes in conjunction with the social link, right? So you could have like their social link be a side story if you wanted to, but then have the link episodes be the shit that like changes their character up. But to that same token, I feel like you should be rewarded for doing the social links, and you should really unlock a new thing in their character arc or whatever, or just unlock something new about that character or whatever that would make them a lot more believable as a character. I don't know, but yeah. Anyways, am I done yapping, chat? Do you guys have anything else you need to bring up before I end off this video? Are y'all good? Are we good? Are y'all good? Are we good? Did I make my point? Did I make my point? Are we good? Are y'all good? Are y'all good? Are we good? The cast? I mean, yeah, the cast in Persona 3 washes. Nobody disagrees. Like, what? What do you want me to say? I mean, what do you want me to say? You know what I'm saying? What do you want me to say? Who's the best character in Persona 5? I raise you one. Poof! Koromaru washes. Like, what are we talking about? Like, what are we talking about? What is going on? The music in Persona 3 is really good. But the thing is, the music in all of the games is a 12 out of 10. And I'm not about pitting bad bitches against each other, even though I just did that for this entire video. But I don't think the music in Reload is like so much better than the rest of the franchise. I think like if you were to tell me you liked any of the Persona games soundtrack more than the other, I couldn't even disagree. I will say this though, I told y'all that we were all gonna warm up to the Persona 3 soundtrack. I told, like, the Iwatodai dorm that everybody was bitching about, nobody hates it now, W's. I still see people hating on Mass Destruction. You're gonna get there. Wait until your new game plus, and then you're like, oh, I was tripping, this ain't even that bad. Also, let's talk about it. If you even hear the Mass Destruction in Persona 3 Reload, that means you're ass. Because why the fuck are you not listening to Disturbing the Peace? You can't get an ambush, my boy? You can't get the advantage? Huh? You starting a neutral battle in Tartarus? Oh, you ass. Oh, you suck. Oh, you suck. I will kill myself before I like P3R Mass Destruction. Alpha. I've got news, buddy. Check your back pocket. I got the poison in your pocket. Go ahead. Go ahead and do it. I'm joking. I can't say that. I'm joking. That was a joke. Anyways, let me end off this video before I truly get my my channel banned. Thank you guys for watching. Persona 3 Reload is the best Persona game of all time. You can't change my mind, but try to change my mind in the comments. Anyways, thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.